Hello Battleborn. Today we're going to do a little dojo training with Orendi and her legendary lore item. Now there are a lot of items that fit this gear slot that to choose from. And she has a skill damage primary, which is a sword, because the swords point downwards to the left, the daggers point upwards to the left. Skill damage is a primary. There's a lot of options here. There's a lot of legendary gear out there. There's a lot of nice rares and epics that you can use. Even the conditionals aren't too terrible. So there's a lot of items that could fit this gear slot. So what we're going to try and test here specifically is is her legendary lore item. This item basically says if you miss a Shadowfire pillar, in other words, you were interrupted, you were stunned, you missed one, you just fired off in the middle of a field, who knows what. Then the next one's going to do more damage. So to test that out, actually, we can just take the skill because it's not going to affect us, because we need to test it. But I'm not going to take any skills on my Helix so that we don't get any undue influence at first. Okay, so 376 was the damage on that. Now I'm waiting for, well, this is going to end up resetting. At 499, it's hitting again. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take actually some of the skills, because I want to be able to reset my Shadowfire in this second. Oh gosh, this is the problem. Okay, here's the problem with Orendi's skill. The Encore effect splits her Shadowfire into two pieces, and this is where I've already done some testing on this, so I'll save you the misery of trying to figure out what's going on. Encore splits a single Shadowfire pillar into two parts. Okay, it's still the same skill, but a full complete Shadowfire pill cast has two Shadowfire pillars. Okay, so for 5 seconds after you're using your original Shadowfire pillar, you can cast a second one immediately, but does half damage. So basically you can go cast. But those two casts are considered one instance of that skill. Okay, so if we go back to the legendary item, a full cast of Shadowfire pillar deals no damage, then the next pillar hit with 25% more damage, means that I would have to miss with both of those Encore skills in order for that to proc. And then the next time around, it would do damage, but it would do damage only pretty much on the first one only. It's very odd. Okay, so it's very odd. What I tried to do is I tried to see if I could cast the first Encore, right, do damage, then fire the second one, the one that only does half damage, the weak one, fire it, intentionally miss with that one, and then see if my next Shadowfire pillar would actually do full damage, and it didn't, because the first half of the Encore had hit. So it was weird. I have to hit with miss with both or hit with both, and it was just crazy. So we're going to go. I'm going to do the preamble of pain only because I want to get here to prognostication, because prognostication will help with our testing. Okay, we might as well do just some of this other stuff. Just do skill damage. Just get the big numbers so we can actually do. We can figure out what's going on, and then reduce cooldown. Okay, now we have cooldown time. So our normal hit at level 9. I just scrolled down or looked down and didn't see the numbers. Does a lot of damage. Let's see if we can get to level 10. We've given the NPC a good head start, and that's good because I just wanted to get for testing. So now I can normally do this. 446. Okay, so 446 is when we land with that skill. We might end up being at 100 at level 10 here pretty soon. But what I'm going to end up having to do is fire off the thing. Okay. Do our nullify to basically reset it, right? And then this one should do a lot more damage than 446, shouldn't it? 711. There you go. Okay. So that's the complete roundabout of how the skill is supposed to work. What I'm trying to say is that if you take level 5 is it level 5? If you where is it? Yeah, if you take level 4 Encore, it's not it may not work exactly how you think it's going to work, but it doesn't mean it's not wrong. It doesn't mean you may not want it. Okay. It's just that it's a little bit different. So again, let's cast this. Oh, they died pretty quickly. Didn't see any numbers showing up. It's just that skill. I mean, some of the skills that they moved around with Orendi really affect her legendary, because honestly, her legendary was designed to be, I think, for the full use of a Shadowfire pillar. Okay, so 743 is the total damage, not the individual damage, because of the other one. So because of the bleed on level 4. The other, see, this is why her testing her is really different. Very awkward. Very awkward. 234 of that comes from the Preamble of Pain. So, but we just need to, we need to see that thing fail. So we're going to shoot that off, nullify it, reset it. Now this should be a bit hurtful. Ready, and 500 plus. That was actually not bad. Let me fire this off. Yeah, that was actually not bad. So it's proccing that 25%, but it's usually meant for landing it. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and hit a tail end of this group to see if I only get the dot on them, but I don't get the 1, 2, there you go. See, I missed with that pillar. Now let's see if it does the damage, because I only got the individual thing. Oh, that guy was owned too quickly. Ah, they just don't have the health. They don't have the health to handle that. You have to do it in 2 different ways. What I'm trying to see is if I do the dot, one of them gets the dot, does that count as doing damage? In other words, does my full cast of pillar, does it ruin it? Or does the dot, there's the dot. Okay, missed him. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and, those first guys didn't get hurt, so I'm going to go ahead and hit them. Ready, and yeah, it mowed them down so fast. I think that dot did not proc the Shadowfire pillar from this. So if you hit somebody with it, and it does that, and it does that Preamble of Pain, I don't think the Preamble of Pain counts as the Shadowfire pillar strike, which is a nice thing to know, because now Preamble Pain, if they get out of that, if they somehow dash out or teleport out or what have you, your next Shadowfire is gonna hurt. Okay, and I don't know if that if on level 10 the Pillar Storm is also part of it. So there's a lot of testing we can do with Orendi on how this works. But if depending on if you play, if you just all of a sudden always see these guys getting out of it and you're just tired of it, and fine, that next one would just own them. And that's what you're looking for. It's some sort of style that fits it. And again, I've said this pretty much every video. The legendary lore items are supposed to be the 11th helix. So this is supposed to change the way you play, or it might change the way you play, or it might accentuate the way you play. But anyways, that is the variable Morpher from Orendi, and this is her legendary lore item. It's pretty cool. Again, there's a lot of choices, but if you like the way this works, definitely finish up her lore, get her leveled up, and go equip it and test it out. Her helix has changed quite a lot in the winter update, and it provides a lot of different ways to play. This is the ones that you want to work with and get used to. So have a lot of fun. I hope you did, and have a great day. Talk to you later.